everyone, Christine here from Spotted Horse Design Company, and today I'm going to teach you how to make the moss stitch. Now this stitch does have a couple other names, so you may have also heard it referred to as the granite stitch or the linen stitch, but they are all one in the same. So this stitch is made using a very simple one row repeat, and probably my favorite feature of this stitch is that it is reversible. So it looks exactly the same on both sides of your work. So go ahead and grab your favorite hook and yarn combination and let's get started. Now for our starting chain, I have seen it both ways. Some people start with an even amount of chains, others start with an odd amount. I personally like starting with an odd amount of chains. So just choose whatever odd number you'd like to make. My little practice swatch here, I started with 25 chains, but I'll probably do something just a little smaller for the sake of this video. So let's go ahead and start with 15. All right, so to work our first row of the moss stitch, you're going to count 3 chains from the hook, okay? And you're going to work a single crochet into that first chain. And by working into the third chain, what that does is, now this will make more sense later on, but what that does is one chain is our chain 1 space, and the other chain counts as our single crochet. Again, I feel like that'll make more sense a little later on. So moving forward, let's go ahead and chain 1. You're going to skip the next chain and work a single crochet in this next chain. Chain 1 after that single crochet and skip the next chain. We're just going to keep repeating these steps all the way down this starting chain. So single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. And now I am down to my last, what is going on here? Look at all this dog hair in my yard. I've got 2 chains left. We're going to chain 1, skip over this next one and just work a single crochet in the very last chain. All right, so it should look something like this. It does look a little funny right now, but I promise it will even out the more rows that we put on this. So now to move on to our next row, you're going to go ahead and chain 2. Now this chain 2 is going to count as a single crochet and our chain 1. Our very first single crochet and our very first chain 1 of this row. That's what this chain 2 is. So you're going to find the chain 1 space. So from here on out, we're only going to be working in these chain 1 spaces. It's easier to feel them than it is to see them right now. Okay. But if you just go down the line, you'll just see these little holes. You're able to pull them apart. Those are our chain 1 spaces. So that's where we're going to be working for the rest of our practice swatch. So you're going to work a single crochet. You're going to find your very first chain 1 space. You're going to single crochet in that first chain 1 space, chain 1, and then now moving on to our next chain 1 space. There it is. And chain 1. Find your next chain 1 space, single crochet, and chain 1. Find our next chain 1 space, single crochet. hear my dog snoring in the background. Find our next chain one space, single crochet and chain one, and single crochet in that chain one space, chain one, and then that's going to bring us to, remember when we worked into the third chain from the hook? You're gonna, it might be a little bit to pull it apart here, sorry, but you're going to insert your hook into that space where that, you know, by crocheting the third chain from the hook, it kind of left us a little loop. So that's where you're going to make your very last single crochet. And now to move on to the next row, you're going to chain two. And again, this chain two is going to count as a single crochet and a chain one. So when we turn our work, we're going to look for the first chain one space from the row below, and we're just going to repeat. So single crochet, chain one, moving forward, single crochet, chain one. Our next chain one space is going to be here. You're going to look to see it. You know, I know I've been saying, you know, go ahead and feel it, but if you just look between like the two single crochets, you're going to look for the V and look for the other V, and then your space is going to be right in the middle of that. And now that's going to bring me to my chain two space from the row below. And I really do kind of pull this apart just a little bit. I've seen people suggest to put a stitch marker here if you need to, if it's easier for you to find, but there it is. I don't know if you can see that. There's my chain two space from the row below. So I'm just going to insert my hook in there and make my final single crochet of this row. And now we just rinse and repeat. So you're going to chain two. Again, the chain two counts as your first single crochet and your first chain one. And then you're going to look for the first chain one space from the row below and work a single crochet. And then chain one. And you're just going to continue to repeat this. It's just a one row repeat. And you're going to repeat that over and over again until you feel like you have the hang of it, or until your practice swatch is the size that you want it to be. This is a really great stitch for coasters, mug rugs, dishcloths, even blankets. This would make a really nice reversible blanket. All right, you guys, that concludes today's tutorial. I hope that you found it helpful and that it gives you some inspiration for your next crochet project. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.